phone call from us?
Yes, about the incident that occurred.
What's going on?
So I'd like to press charges for a hate crime against the individual Mark Batchefer.
Against who?
Mark Batchefer?
Who is that?
That's the librarian you talked to?
Okay, what's the hate crime?
The hate crime is discrimination against the disabled for uses of a public facility.
That's not discrimination. If there's issues with policies, he's not discriminating against you for the policy violation.
So there was a case before this court and before the Contra Costa County Court, and this case was regarding this same exact thing that they called you for on April 30th, before Anna Young, and the judge ruled in my favor in Department 50 and said that the case was dismissed because it lacked merit for First Amendment protected activities where I grieved against them for being disabled and not being able to easily access the door. The individual lost that suit on April 30th. The case was dismissed, and he even told you that case was dismissed. And then you proceeded as an officer to enforce a policy that was unconstitutional, that the courts already ruled on unconstitutional. And like I said, I want to press hate crimes because the courts already ruled in my favor about this disability already, and now you're telling me that you're not going to enforce the person discriminating against me, who has clearly discriminated against me, where there's court cases.
That case was dismissed. It wasn't ruled in your favor. It was dismissed for lack of evidence.
Which is basically equivalent enough to say that.
That's not the same.
So
that's not a ruling in your favor. That's the case dismissal.
So a case dismissal.
Winner or loser.
So a dismissal is not a ruling in my favor?
Correct. A dismissal is based on not enough evidence. If there wasn't enough evidence to proceed with the case, then the case will not go forward in the system. So it's basically dropped. That's not a ruling. That's a dismissal.
Yes, and the ruling was to dismiss the case, correct?
No, so the ruling is either guilty or not guilty. If a case is dismissed based on lack of evidence, you can't even go forward to the part of guilty or not guilty.
So there was lack of evidence for my cursing in the library, for the behavior that they said before, and they're doing it again. And you're telling me that this isn't harassment when the case was dismissed already for the same things they just called about?
No, it's based on everyone being accountable for the same actions. It's not harassment. If they were singling you out for such an incident, then yeah, it would be harassment. That's not harassment. If they hold everyone to the same standard, that's not harassment.
Did you?
They didn't trespass you from the property. They're allowing you to continue to come onto the property.
Yes, but you did give him. Sorry to cut you off, but you did give him the decision whether or not to make me leave based on the language that I was using, correct?
Basically, I gave them an option to let you leave on your own free will versus trespassing, so you were able to come back to the property.
And I just had a question. What was the name of that form again for trespassing?
It's called a 602 form. It's a trespass form.
Oh, okay.
That means you can't ever go back to the property ever again.
Okay, and that wasn't given to me.
Correct.
Okay.
Which means you're allowed to go back to the property.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Goodbye.